We have 2 more subscribers today. I have airspeed here.
You know, we might be able to get some lift.
Easy, cheap. He was my passenger.
Oh, really?
Clear. Homestead inside. Hello guys, my name is Andrey Borisevich, and this channel is about aviation. Most of my videos is about general aviation, but sometimes I do videos about business jets, corporate airplanes, airliners, whatever. So this all information about aviation. This is what I do in my life. I'm flight instructor, I'm owner of flight school here in Fort Lauderdale Executive Airport, and I do a lot of stuff with airplanes. I'm flying airplanes, I'm selling airplanes, I'm brokering airplanes, I'm chartering airplanes and helicopters. So please don't pay too much attention to my accent and to my maybe grammar errors, because I'm Russian and English is my second language. I'm trying to do my best, but I still live in the United States only for 5 years, and I think you will excuse me for some small English or even big English mistakes. So this is the first video I'm shooting specifically for English channel, and I'm in Homestead. This is Homestead Airport, close to Miami. About 1 hour driving from Miami downtown, and the reason why I'm here to shoot the video about gliders. I never flew gliders in my life. I have 4 type ratings in the jets, I have seaplane rating, I have single and multi-engine airplane and helicopter rotorcraft, but this is just the first time when I'm trying to do something with gliders. Never been involved in any operations with gliders, never flew gliders before. And this is the reason why I'm here. I would like to try and show you how you can try to fly gliders. Keep in touch, subscribe for my channel please. If you have any questions, comments, and your likes will be really helpful. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you soon. Ну что ж, мы приехали к глайдерам. Это место называется глайдер Майами, глайдерс Майами, и находится в аэропорту Homestead. Ехать пришлось целый час от моего дома, это оказалось как-то сильно дальше, чем я предполагал. И вот можно увидеть, что здесь находится. Вот в частности планер, понятия не имею, как называется, сейчас будем спрашивать местных. Наш инструктор, скорее всего, сейчас летает. Я видел только что буксировщик, который поднимал один из планеров наверх. А сейчас мы пойдем поговорим с ребятами, которые там сидят, и все узнаем. What are you doing here?
Dominoes.
Dominoes?
Yeah.
Cool. Andrey.
John. Victor.
John?
Victor.
Nice Victor?
Nice to meet you.
Do you know where is Steven? Steve?
Steve is not here right now.
He's not here, but we kind of run the show for him, yeah.
So you flying? You flying gliders?
Yeah. Cool.
Just give me an explanation how it works, because let me give you my story. I have 6,000 hours on different airplanes, helicopters, seaplanes, and all this stuff. I'm flying Airbus, Learjet, small planes, pistons, twins, everything.
Sweet.
Never flew gliders.
Okay.
Never. Zero time. Have no ideas how it works, but I just would like to try. And if everything goes well and I like it, I would like to get my rating.
Okay.
So if you can give me just a few words how it works, what we need to do, so you have like a tow airplane, right? So
Yeah, so we get towed up by the airplane. There's more than one method to climb up. There's some places that uses winch launches, and believe it or not, back in the day they used to use cars.
Yeah.
But over here in this operation, we'll be using aero tow.
So this guy, right?
Yeah, so we'll be right behind this.
It's a Piper.
Yeah. So there used to be like a bunch of sprayers, like really heavy sprayers underneath the wings.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think it was like 800 pounds of spray equipment or something like that.
Is it glider is heavy, or what is the weight on the glider?
They're typically not too. It depends on the glider, really. There's one over there.
What are we gonna fly? Which one?
We're gonna fly the blue one.
Yeah, it's in the air.
It's in the air right now.
Okay.
about like 1,100 pounds, around there, 1,100.
Altogether with passengers.
Oh no, that is gross weight.
So it's just empty weight.
Yeah.
So yeah, the gross weight's like 1,200 pounds, and I guess it'll be around 1,100 with you guys in it.
Yeah.
It's like around 800 something pounds empty, if I'm not mistaken.
So you have only one tow plane, or you have two of them?
Oh, yeah.
We have one.
We have one.
I just saw somebody tow. It was you, so you did it on this plane.
Yeah, and he lands back down here.
Perfect. And what do you usually do on the first flight? Like today, what we're gonna do?
So we'll try to soar today. It's a little windy, and I don't know if today's gonna be the greatest day for soaring. You know, we might be able to get some lift. What we typically look for is two things. One of them being birds. You ever see the birds just circling around with their wings up? That just means there's a thermal. Another great indicator will be these nice cumulus clouds with the dark middles. We'll use those. We'll try to climb up within those. They look pretty promising today, but let's see how it goes.
How high are we gonna be?
So obviously we gotta stay within quite a little bit of limit. We're VFR, right? So we can't go through the clouds or anything.
So you're just going up like 3,000?
Yeah.
Or less?
Whatever cloud base is.
Okay.
Yeah, basically. And we'll try to thermal. We do tighter thermals or tighter circles, just so we could stay in the actual thermal. So we're gonna, there's a couple signals that they'll give me as a wing walker to let me know that they're ready. One of them, you'll see them raise their wing. They'll have the canopies closed, obviously. They'll give me a thumbs up while they're inside the glider. What that means essentially is just to raise their wing. You see how that one wing's down?
So we need to raise the wings.
Yeah, we'll just pick it up,
level all of them,
have it leveled. And that's just better on the actual wings. You know, the more drag on it, it's easier, the weather vane and all that is, because there's more drag on the ground, right?
Right.
So if you want to pick it up, it makes it easier for the glider pilots.
As soon as they start moving, we need to run, close this wing and hold it, or we just let them go?
So once they give us that thumbs up, that means raise their wing, and then we're looking at their rudder. And once we see their rudder start waggling, essentially what that means is they're ready to go.
Okay.
You'll see the tow plane then start waggling his rudder, meaning, okay, I got the signal, and then they'll start moving. What you're gonna wanna do as the wing walker is you're just gonna hold the wing level for them for like 2 seconds until they start getting that energy going.
Gotcha.
And they're flowing.
Okay.
You could then let it go at that point.
Ну вот глайдер. Мы видим глайдер. И его только что прицепили к буксировщику. Nice. So glider lift off a little bit earlier than airplane.
Yeah, just because they're more cleaner.
You don't have any chance to go around.
Well, you do not. You have one landing. That's
One
it.
landing, and you have speed brakes.
We have air brakes, yes. There's on this glider, it has it on the top and also on the bottom of the wing.
So this helps you to manage your speed. And
It helps you manage your airspeed and energy. We mainly use them for descending, for coming in for landings. And if you are in the air for some reason, you see that you're getting too much speed. Like I said, VNE is 133. You probably want to pull those air brakes back if you're speeding too fast.
what altitude right now is here?
They're about 800 to 1,000 feet. I would say that's more on 800 to 700 feet right there. And that's plenty of time to go around the pattern and come in for a landing.
So what he's practicing landing right now.
Yeah, he's just working on his landings and takeoffs.
What about solo? When you do your first solo?
So whenever the instructor has done a pre-written solo with you.
About 5 hours, 6 hours?
Yeah, just about. That's typically what it takes. And then you'll get the sign off for the solo. And basically, we just want to see that you're able to, you know, at least start getting the maneuvers down, and you really want to focus on whether or not they can recover from a stall and things like that before you solo them.
What other maneuvers is included to program?
For the actual rating, for gliders, you need to be able to recover from straight ahead stall, turning stalls, left and right, air brake stalls. So if you have your air brakes out, you want to be able to recover and
Brakes off and pull.
Yeah, exactly. Put them in as you're pushing that stick neutral. Recovering from stalls, air brakes, slow flight, and steep turns.
Slow flight and steep turns.
Yep.
Okay. Any recovery from unusual altitude?
Not
really.
Yeah, not really.
Because you're not flying in the clouds, right?
No, we're not doing that. Funny enough, though, this glider is rated for cloud flying.
Rated?
Yeah.
So you can fly instrument with this airplane?
Well, not exactly instrument, cloud flying. So you can fly through a cloud. I don't recommend it. It has the variometer, the compass, and I think it's also one more instrument that it needs to have to actually do cloud flying.
How long it take to get a glider license?
So for a private pilot, it would take 10 hours and 20 flights.
Okay.
Within those 10 hours, you need 3 hours solo, and then you're 3 in prep.
And the check ride is right here.
Yeah, the actual owner of this operation is the examiner.
So he can do check ride almost any time, right?
Yep.
Okay, sounds good to me.
Yep.
So for me, it's gonna be just add on to my license, right?
Yeah, are you a commercial or a private?
ATP.
Okay.
And you can do it initially if, let's say, the person has any license, just 0 license. You can do glider private from the scratch?
Yeah, that's basically how I did it. I did private initial.
Okay.
And now I'm doing my airplane ratings. So it's an add-on, but the requirements don't change.
Okay.
So I still have to do my 40 hours and
on the airplane.
Yeah, exactly, and all the requirements.
But how many hours you did on the glider to get your rating, your license?
For private?
For private
it's
glider.
10 hours.
Only 10 hours.
And you need 20 flights. And that's the limit. You could also get your private rating at 16 years old.
Nice.
So you could be a little younger. That's why the 16-year-old, she got her private rating in the gliders, and she soloed the airplane the same day.
Gosh.
Search.
Boom.
Subscribe.
Thank you so much.
No problem.
We have 2 more subscribers today.
2. At least 2.
At least 2.
Have you been able to fly in Russia?
Yeah.
Oh wow, how's that like?
Not so good as here, of course, because you have a lot of limitations. Military zones, flight plans. You need to file flight plan for every flight.
Okay. Yeah.
Even if it's a local flight, you need to file flight plan. Once I did around the world trip on Cessna 182, so I flew all across Russia, Greenland, Iceland, United States,
in
Canada.
a 182?
182, yes.
Nice.
Yeah, so Russia is probably the hardest part of this my around the world trip, even if I'm Russian, but I flew on foreign registered airplane. So I have to do all these procedures, including
Paperwork and all that.
FBI.
Oh, FBI.
Approval.
Wow, involved.
Can you imagine?
Oh my gosh.
Yep. So it's kind of tough.
How does that feel there? Feel like you could, you want the seat more forward?
No.
You good there? You
I'm
could
good.
also adjust the pedals there however you need. If you want it more forward towards you, you see this little level here?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can rotate it and then it'll either come towards you or farther back.
Yeah, it's cool. Love it.
All right, you get full deflection?
I got full deflection.
All right,
Yes.
sweet.
I have airspeed here. This is vertical speed, right?
Yeah, variometer.
And I have altitude.
Yep, and then your
And compass. What is this one?
This is your release, and we were just about to talk about this.
This is release for tow.
Yeah, so this is what hooks, the rope hooks onto the actual hook here down here, and this is how we disconnect from that rope.
From the tow,
So
okay.
we'll pull this, and you'll see the tow plane go down, we'll go up to the right.
We don't have any headsets with you, we will talk just normal.
Yeah, we could hear each other quite fine. It's nice, especially once we release, it's very quiet in here.
Perfect.
So yeah, that's our release there. For any reason, obviously I'll be in the glider with you, but if there's any reason that the tow plane starts moving and you see that I'm not in there or anybody else,
release it.
Yeah, just release, disconnect. You don't want to go up there, right?
Okay.
Another thing is our 4-point harness. So throw this over your shoulder. And this one as well.
We don't have any pocket here.
No.
No. Okay.
Yeah. So you grab the waist ones. And what you want to do is, yep, exactly just like that.
I have extra.
Yeah, you want to make it however it
I'm
fits.
flying aerobatics, so I know.
Every day,
Every day? Oh, sweet.
maybe 3 times a week.
Yes,
That's awesome. I gotta see that one day. Is that on your YouTube channel too?
Yeah.
Oh, awesome.
He was my passenger.
Oh, really? How was it? Sweet. So you're all hooked in. Mainly the bottom needs to be strapped.
I'll give you my phone number and I'll give you a favor next time. Stop by in Fort Lauderdale. I'll give you right. And
Oh, for sure. Sounds good.
to these handles.
Okay. So this is your trim.
This is my trim for
Yeah,
elevator.
pitch.
Okay.
So this is your air brakes, and if you look on the side of the wings, you could actually
Gotcha.
see them that
I
they're
see them. Right and left. Okay.
And yeah, we typically use those for landings and slowing down.
It's all mechanical.
Yeah, it's all you're doing it. There's no
Gotcha.
electronic system here.
This is trim. This is brakes. This one.
That's for landing gear, so we typically leave it out. We've had instances where people put it back in and landed it
Without
it. You know, you really don't.
Okay. Don't screw it up.
Yeah,
Just don't touch it.
Just don't forget it, and also it doesn't change your glide ratio that much for you to
So
need
it makes no sense
Yeah,
to remove them, right?
exactly.
This one.
I believe that's the jettison. I believe this is what disconnects that pin there.
Okay. Just
So-
in case if we need to.
Yeah, if you need it to get out.
Okay.
That's not gonna happen today.
This airplane is not for aerobatic, right? You cannot do any inverted maneuvers. Or you can.
No, you can't.
No?
You can do some maneuvers. Just very limited. It's a utility.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Oh, so when I give you this signal,
Yeah.
this just means open or pull the release.
Open and pull.
Yeah. So the yellow release, pull it back.
Now.
Now close fist, close it. There you go. Sweet.
Perfect.
Now I'm gonna go ahead and get myself strapped in.
Now.
Yeah. Just he has to make sure he's off the runway.
Yes. Sure. So about 50 knots, I will a little bit pull up and stay behind this airplane. Gotcha.
Yeah, so what we're gonna wanna do is we're gonna keep the stick forward for this takeoff. The nose is gonna drop, and I typically count 3 seconds. After the 3 seconds, I'll put the back pressure in to stick neutral.
Gotcha.
And that'll start, you'll start seeing us to climb.
Okay. So just forward right now.
Yeah, stick forward right now, and you're gonna wanna control your directional control with your rudder.
Rudder. Okay.
And we got a wing walker, so once he gets over there, we'll
Gotcha.
remember the signals.
Yeah.
So
Tumb up.
first, we're gonna make sure that the rope behind the tow plane is actually tightened.
Tight. Okay.
Because right now it has some slack. Once that's done,
Then
he's
I
already,
need to move rudders.
yeah, then once that's nice and tight, you would give the signal for him to raise his wing. He already raised it for us. And now the next signal is to waggle your rudder. Left and right. Sweet. So now you see the tow plane
Yeah,
gave
I
us
do.
the signal. All right, now we're gonna keep that stick forward and we should be moving soon.
3, 2.
Well, it hasn't dropped yet.
One.
Now, 1, 2, 3. There you go. So now what you're gonna want to do is you don't want to go too high,
Yeah.
so because you'll pick the tail up and make it uncomfortable for the tow plane. So let's get a little lower, right about here. And what you're gonna want to do is line up the 2 main gears on the horizon. You see the two big tires on the tow plane?
Yeah.
Just try to keep it on the horizon.
Okay.
So right now we're above. I would drop it down a little bit. Right here.
Gotcha.
Hold this position. And the controls on a glider are a little bit sensitive.
The same
I
like
can't imagine it being any more sensitive than the extra, but all right, you can pick up here a little bit, so put some back pressure. Sweet. That's just a little bit of a thermal there.
Got controls.
I'm gonna set you up here. So you see the slack rope? Whenever there's slack rope, the way to tighten it is with your rudder. So I use, the slack was to the left, I put right rudder to tighten it.
Okay.
All right, so I'm just gonna follow here for a bit.
1,800 right now. Cool.
Yep, we're gonna go to 5,280.
Perfect.
Hey, not bad for your reversed glider toe.
You do something?
No, on the toe, we're just gonna stay behind them.
I mean, you have any controls right now, or?
Yeah, I have everything you have up there, I have up back here. I'm not putting input, is it?
Yeah, it was my question. You know,
Yeah, I'm not putting input right now.
Gotcha.
That's all you.
What is the max altitude you can tow us?
For us at this operation, we do a mile high, which is just 5,280. I've never gone any higher than that.
Okay.
Unless it's because of a thermal. The highest I've been up in the glider here was 6,000 feet.
Gotcha.
Obviously, when you go more north, they have ridge soaring, and you can work the ridges.
Right.
And some of those guys are going up to 13,000, 15,000 feet.
Wow.
Yep. At that point, as you know, you need oxygen and all the
Exact.
actual requirements for that. At what altitude do you do your maneuvers in the extra?
Usually between 6,000 and 2,000.
Nice.
Sometimes if I have like low clouds, for example, I can do, let's say, 7,000, 8,000, and I cannot feel any difference because it's still powerful airplane. Everything is perfect.
Yeah. Yeah, so I would climb up a little bit higher, just a little bit. There you go, right there. I would hold it at this position. Yeah, so one of the procedures before we release is once we're near 5,280 feet, we'll start looking right and left, and we'll be clearing the area to make sure there's nobody around us for when we release.
And we need to release to the right.
Yeah, so we would turn up to the right, and you'll see the tow plane descend down to the left. And what that is, we do that just to keep us away from the rope, basically.
Right.
All right, so I'll put right rudder here. We got some slack. Nice. And that's just to tighten the rope, so that we don't actually break the rope there. Sweet. And if you see that yaw string in front of you,
I have the same on a helicopter.
oh really?
Yeah.
Sweet.
This is my ball.
Yeah. It's a funny story. Alright. We're at 5,000. Go ahead and look right, look left.
Clear.
Clear.
Homestead inside.
Yeah, so go ahead and pull that release whenever you're ready.
Right now?
Yep.
3,
2, 1. We go up to the right, and they go down to the left. And the next thing we'll look for is Homestead Airport. We have it right in front of us.
So
Now,
I can maintain 42, you said, right?
Yeah, 42 is minimum sync.
42.
So remember the skydiving box is right ahead of us, so let's do a 180 here.
Left or right?
Let's do it right.
Okay.
Alrighty. And tow plane's in sight. You see them? 1 o'clock. To your right. Ahead of us.
Yep, inside.
Alright. So let's straighten off to the south here. Let's turn a little bit more right. And what we'll do is we'll do a straight ahead stall once we're lined up here. And basically what you want to do is bleed off the energy, so you're just going to pull the stick back. Nice and easy, nice and easy. And then you'll feel it buffet a little bit more. There's the buffet.
Buffet.
And let it drop. Boom. Drop, stick forward. Right, rudder. Now we're gonna want to pick it up. There you go. Sweet.
Like it.
All right, let's do a right turning stall here.
Okay.
So we're gonna act like we were in a turn, and then we're gonna bleed off the energy. And then we're gonna put stick neutral once it buffets and stalls. Opposite rudder. A little bit more stick back. Boom. There it is. Opposite rudder. Very cool. Alright, so now what we'll do is we'll demonstrate the spoiler stall. So go ahead and pull this, pull it all the way back. Alright, now bleed off the energy just like a normal straight ahead stall. And once you stall, as you're pushing the stick forward, I want you to push the air brakes in as well. So boom, we stalled, stick forward, just like that. And then recover as normal. And that's some of the maneuvers there that you would need to do for the actual check ride.
Excellent.
Sweet, so why don't we try a steep turn? Let's face off to the west here. So let's turn left, straighten off to the left here. All right. So for steep turns in this glider, we're going to start off at 50 knots, and we're going to keep it plus minus 5 of 50, okay? So we'll start our steep turn to the left, and whenever you're ready, go ahead. Sorry?
Is it good bank?
Yeah, so 45 degrees is more or less where you want to keep it. This looks like a little bit past that. Well, you could go up to 60, I believe. Alright. At this point, we could just enter our base. We won't be able to see that weather too, so let's go ahead and start making our right turn here. And we have a landing checklist, and we run through it real quick. Landing gear down and lock, speed 50 to 55 knots, trim set, air brakes checked, so to check them, just open them, make sure they're open, and then close them back up, or set them as you need it. Runway environment looks good to me. Land on main wheel, and do not flare, avoid tail strikes.
Okay, do not flare, gotcha.
Alright, so I would start introducing some air brakes. Yeah. Just to get us nice and low. And as you can see, we're burning 400 feet per minute right now. So they're quite effective.
Yeah.
Now you want to maintain 50 to 55 knots.
This is what
right here, I would start reducing some air brakes. Right about there should be good. I would reduce a little bit more air brakes. I would start to line yourself up on the runway. So you see how we're a little bit off to the left?
Yep.
There you go. Start working your way in there.
Less brakes?
Yeah. And you could also enter ground effect once we're getting close to the ground, so.
And full brakes on touchdown, right?
Yeah, you don't want full brakes.
Nope.
So I would maintain where you're at. Now start leveling off, almost like you don't want to land it.
Okay.
Like a low pass. And there you go. Now I would extend my air brakes to help us burn off excess energy. Sweet.
Man, it was something.
Nice.
Love it.
That was all you there. That was pretty cool.
Cool.
Oh, that's pretty cool. That's awesome.
Excellent. So it's rainy. Can you do just short debriefing what we did? What was good, what was wrong, like as usually you do as a flight instructor?
So typically on the official takeoff, what we want to do is we pulled the stick back a little bit earlier. I typically try to leave the nose drop for like 3 seconds. I'll try to count it out loud.
So take off a little bit early, as you said.
Yeah, so you want to count it out, let the nose drop for 3 seconds, and then you'll put that back pressure to relieve the pressure of the the nose there. Eventually that'll pick you up like you did, just a little bit smoother, I guess you could say. Until the best thing you could do is try to line up the main gears with the horizon and stay behind the tail plane. Sometimes we'll drift off, and that's okay. You know, it's normal. Obviously, it's part of the process.
So when you have these slash, you just need to use right.
Oh yeah. So when there's slack, depending on which side the slack is, you put the opposite rudder.
Opposite rudder.
So we had some slack to the left, and that's why you felt me put that right pressure to tighten the actual rope. If you create too much slack, it could be an issue. It could, you know, wrap around the wing and be a huge problem.
So we did, I would like just to recall what we did. We did straight and flight stall. We did right turn stall,
so we did
left turn stall, steep turns.
Yep. So we did some slow flight up there as well.
Yeah.
We did steep turns. We did air brake stalls as well. And all of those are part of the maneuvers you'll need to do for your actual check ride.
Cool.
Sweet. Yeah.
I'm ready.
What was that?
Am I ready for check ride?
Oh. Yeah, a couple more flights we'll go up.
Okay.
Sweet.
Cool. So to start, what I need to do to start the training process? Let's say I would like to get my glider rating. What I need to do?
So you would need to get your 10 hours, and you need to do 20 flights.
And you guys open every day, or you have some?
So we're by schedule. So you just give a call, one of us or Steve, and you could come on over and we'll set everything up.
Perfect. So, well guys, you've seen everything by yourself, by your eyes. I just landed on this glider, which is Blanic 23. Pretty old glider, but really good. And it was my first experience. I did takeoff, I did landing, I did steep turns, I did a few stalls, straight and leveled stall, left turn stall, right turn stall, and it was really good. I'm pretty excited about this experience because I never did glider flies before. As for my personal opinion, for me it's a little bit slow. It's a little bit slow and not so maneuverable as I usually fly on my extra, for example. So, but this glider is really good for initial experience. If you just if you just start your journey in aviation, I believe the glider is the best way to start because it's much less expensive. So you can spend less money than an airplane and you will have pretty much the same experience, the same takeoff, the same landing, the same maneuvers as you need on a private pilot for airplane. So if you a little bit short on money, or if you would like to get into aviation in a best economical way, I believe glider, this is the best choice for you. This is what you can do, easy, cheap, and with the same level of fun, and you will enjoy it, I believe. If you have any questions, if you have any comments, if you would like to ask me something to create another video, if you have any topics you would like me to review, any planes, helicopters, jets, whatever, please write your comments below this video. And thank you so much for watching this. Good luck, and I'll see you in the sky. Bye bye.